Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Boston for the 18th race of the NRSL Mountain Dew For the Win Cup Series. First time in series history we'll be running at this track. Last time I came to this track was back during my Neymar days. I think either season 6 or season 7 came here. That's the last time I recall using this track, so it's been a while. It's kind of weird though, because I do get some pretty good races from this track, but I guess I don't know. It got boring to me for some reason. But anyway, I decided to put it back on the schedule. I didn't really know what to do for 1 mile tracks because this is a balanced schedule. 5 road courses, 5 1 milers, 5 short tracks, 5 intermediates, and 5 super speedways. So yeah. Anyway, let's get to your starting lineup. Zach Flickinger is on the pole. Has he had one of these this year yet? And the answer is no. So first time pull for Flickinger on the year. Starting second to him is TJ Hanley, who it looked like he was going to have a pretty good fresh tire to old tires battle against Nate Rogers, but he just couldn't get up to him in time, and then he couldn't get by Jefferson for third or second last week. But he starts second here today. We'll see how that works out for him. Row 2 are 2 teammates and winners on the year. Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Johnny Gardner in row 2. Jose Mills and John Arndt are in row 3. Dylan Young and DJ Curtis are in row 4. And in row 5 is James Shelley and William Flickinger. So as you know, we have 3 races left. Nate Rogers became the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th two-time winner on the year, or multi-race winner, I guess. Looking at the point standings, Sorlin is the points leader, 18 over Tringali, 49 over Fitzwater, 50 over Gardner, and 61 over Kukulon. 2 drivers in on points right now is Marty Johnson, 6th in points, and Charles Jackson, 7th in points. Also in the chase right now on wins is Ryan Brommer, Austin Alves, Kev Shear, Nate Rogers, and Seth Cole. Peterson's 35th in points. If he works his way up, he'll be top 30 as well. Those are our 11 winners, one of which, like I said, is not in the top 30. Let's go trackside.
Y'all come say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
So let's take a quick look at the points battle right now. If we do not have a new winner, or 2 more new winners, because that's really what it's down to at this point. So Johnson and Jackson are in on points right now. Johnson has 5 points over Jackson. First driver behind Jackson is Alex Gray, who's 9th in points. He has 5 points down from Jackson. Next up is Mark Riggleman, 13th in points. He is 26 back. Jefferson is 29 back. Deaver, 38. Shelton, 41. William Flickinger, 42. Jose Mills, 47. John Arndt, 49. And 56 back each. Patrick Sick and Dylan Young. Those are the drivers in range on points as we are green here at Boston. 100 laps of action. And we'll see if this track is still a bottom feeder or if it's a highline track. It's been known to be different kind of each time I come here. Looks like 1 and 2 will definitely be a low line. Let's see what we get here in turns 3 and 4. It looks pretty even. It looks like we should have a pretty good race here as Fitzwater's going for the lead. Keir coming to lap 2. It looks like the Highline's got the advantage at the entrance, but then the bottom kind of gets a little bit of a movement slash run on the bottom. Same thing in 3 and 4. So we're going to have a pretty interesting race here. It looks like the lines are pretty equal. Top side's better on the entrance, while the bottom side is better on exit. So Fitzwater and Flickinger battle it out as here comes Jose Mills. He might try and make it 3 wide. Remember Toyota has not won this year yet. Zach Flickinger not giving up. He's making it difficult for Fitzwater to clear him. And does he get him? He will. So Fitzwater clears Down the back stretch, here comes Jose Mills looking for second. Dylan Young making a move, but James Shelley, wow, James Shelley's up here in the top 5. He's going to make it 3 wide, and that actually allowed Flickinger to clear Dylan Young because he was all the way on the top. Also battling in the top 10, DJ Curtis. Hanley still fighting strong. John Arndt, Johnny Gardner, Quentin Moore, and right on the outskirts is Cole Deaver and Patrick Sick. So the 2 drivers we mentioned 56 points behind Charles Jackson are in the top 12. Peter Sands, he's doing pretty good right now. He's in 14th place. Remember, Sands is 35th in the points. He has to get into the top 30 if he's going to make the playoffs with his win from M&M's. See, right now, Jackson is right behind him in 15th, but he's under fire from Hoffman. In the past, I feel like I've had 1 or 2 cautions a race at this track. I'm not sure what we'll get here today. Dylan Young on the outside. Here's our top 5 right now. Fitzwater, Mills, Flickinger, Shelley, and Curtis. Remember, Shelley has not won since 2017. Curtis has not won all season. And if I look at the review sheet from last season, Curtis finished 8th in points. Now in 2017, Curtis won 2 races. Last year, he only got the 1 win. But shockingly, in 2017, he was 41st in points with those 2 wins. He was a lot better last year. But so far this year has been about the same as 2017 was. Now we'll see what Tywear does, because now it looks like Tywear is coming into play and it might be making the top line a little stronger. As John Arndt will clear Dylan Young for 6th. Arndt had a good run going last week until a caution during pit stop cycle really hurt his race. Him and Levi McIntyre were probably going to run away with the thing. However, the caution fell and they stayed out, and then they restarted at the front, and then they fell to the back, and the race went green the rest of the way. So things did not work out for either of them. Arndt, another driver yet to win since his solo win in 2017. So it looks like DJ Curtis is peaking for 4th. Field starting to single out. Young 7th, Hanley 8th. Gardner and teammate Quentin Moore are fighting for 9th. Deaver's right there in 11th, waiting to pounce. And it certainly looks like the top line's coming in. Gardner will just about clear Quentin Moore. And off of turn 2, he does. Peter Sands up to 12th now. Patrick Sick starting to fall to the back. Same with Tony Green. Charles Jackson falling backwards. Sorlin just outside the top 20. There's last race winner from a few days ago. Nate Rogers got his 2nd win of the season. And for once in a long time, Jay Jefferson did not start the race today in the top 10. So his qualifying hot streak over here at Boston. We'll see if he can rebound at Meadowlands. Nico Tringali not having a good run. There's McIntyre. He started last today. Seth Cole also having a bad race. He really cannot be having these runs. He got that great win at Cape Cod on strategy. And it might be all for nothing if he can't be top 30 in points at the conclusion of Talladega. We head back up to the top 5. John Arndt has made it by DJ Curtis for 5th. Here's where our comers and goers mentality comes into play. And right now, John Arndt is a goer. Or comer, I mean. He's trying to take 4th from James Shelley. He got by Curtis for 5th. So Curtis is a faller from the looks of things. And now he's back on the outside of John Arndt as Arndt falls back Not enough momentum running that bottom line with someone next to you. As the dog snores. But so far, Fitzwater in control of this race. Fitzwater's been one of the most consistent drivers on the season. He's been pretty much top 5, top 3 in points all year. He sits third right now. He's got that 1 win, 3 top 5s, and the 6 top 10s with a 1 pole to show. His teammate and owner Johnny Gardner, 4th in points, right behind him. 2 wins, 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s. Gardner currently running in 9th. He could get that 9th top 10. That would tie Zorlin, who runs 18th right now. As you can see, John Arndt definitely has a fast car right now. He's ducking really low here through the front straightaway area. As he's side by side with Shelley now for 4th. Curtis fell to Arndt, but he hasn't gone anywhere. He still sits in 6th. Cole Devers made it into 10th. Shelley trying not to lose that position. He's fighting back hard. As Cole Devers made it up to 9th, so we've got another mover in the form of the 3. His teammate Alex Gray is also up to 11th place. As there's a bit of a 13-car breakaway. Patrick Sick holding up a couple people. Zorlin up to 16th now. Quentin Moore's fallen away from the top 10. So we've definitely got our movers and fallers. Pit stop should certainly make things interesting, as TJ Hanley now is losing positions. He'll lose 8th to Cole Dever. John Arndt still struggling to get by James Shelley. You can see Zach Flickinger falling away from race leader Fitzwater Sr. And there it is. Shelley will get shoved up the track again. If he's not careful, Curtis is going to make it 3 wide. Already at lap 23, a pretty short race here at Boston compared to what we got at Rockingham. As it looks like Arndt will finally clear James Shelley. Meanwhile, Cole Dever continuing to move his way to the front. He's still trying to take 8th away from TJ Hanley. As Caleb Hoffman's taking 12th from Peter Sands. Dever will clear for the move. Curtis goes by Shelley as well. See what happens right there. So Jose Mills has been able to keep up with Fitzwater Sr. For a veteran like Fitzwater to have a rookie like Mills keep up with him is definitely impressive. See the kind of yo-yo effect right now between Mills and Fitzwater. Meanwhile, Flickinger is kind of just holding all these drivers up right now. As we see Shelley has fallen to 8th. Alex Gray's going to move up to 10th. As Peter Sands held off Caleb Hoffman. See what happens. Phil Parker and Jonathan Zorlin are moving their way towards the front. Zorlin just took 14th from Parker. Now he's trying to take 13th from Hoffman. Gardner falling back to 12th. Hanley will fall back to 10th if they complete the passes. As Arndt on the inside of Flickinger and Curtis. As it'll be interesting to see once Arndt clears Flickinger if he has enough speed to catch. Same can be said about Cole Dever. Right now, Curtis is right on the bumper of Flickinger, and it's preventing Arndt from getting the help he needs to close up. This is allowing Dylan Young and Cole Deaver to close up now, as the top two will pull away, as Alex Gray is going to look for 8th from James Shelley. Flickinger, in fact, running faster laps right now on the top. Deaver's going to fall in line behind Arndt as he tries to pass Dylan Young for 6th. Flickinger clears back down on the bottom, and that's going to help Arndt clear DJ Curtis. Deaver's going to be right on his bumper as they make the move for... as Arndt makes the move for 3rd place yet again. Alex Gray comes flying up from 8th place. He'll clear Dylan Young for 7th. Wow, what a freeze right there. I hope that doesn't happen again. So Young and Curtis are falling back. Flickinger's holding on strong here. Peter Sands, Jonathan Zorland's into the top 10. Oh man, almost into the top 10. Probably in 11th right now. Very interesting to see how many people are moving. It looks like Deaver, Gray could be forces to be reckoned with. Same could be said for Sorlin and Parker. They've been moving all race. But from 17th on back, there's really no way to see who's making good gains. Heck, oh, hang on. Let's hold on right there. Levi McIntyre started last. He's up to 23rd. How about that? Quentin Moore seems to be holding up that group. Shelley and Flickinger. As Flickinger's on the top side 3 wide, as Deaver has passed John Arndt for 3rd. And Alex Gray's going by him for 4th. Now we'll get to see here after 33 laps of this run just how close Deaver and Gray can get, and when will pit stops be commencing. Mills still riding about 4 to 5 tenths behind Fitzwater. Curtis with the fastest lap. That clearly doesn't matter. Deaver's pretty fast. Parker we can see on this list. Time will tell if Fitzwater has the best car or not. They're almost at 3 seconds of fall off. As Deaver and Gray are really closing up. Arndt might be closing up too now that he's cleared. You can see how much they let off for the corner and how early they let off for the corner. Deaver definitely on the move. Same for Gray. Arndt not as much. As now Curtis and Peter Sands are on the inside line. Zorland's going to clear James Shelley for 10th place. Flickinger's still showing that he can run that top line. Johnny Gardner was in the top 10 briefly. He's fallen out of that. As Austin Alves, Kukulon, they're closing up. Same with Shearer. Good battles going on all around the track. William Flickinger is in 42nd for some reason. Is there yellow? No, there's no yellow. Pace car camera angles are terrible. Charles Jackson was in the top 15 earlier, and he's all the way back to 36th. That does not look good for him. Big split from 33rd to 34th. Marty Johnson's running poorly. So Johnson and Jackson are running poorly. Gray and others running pretty well. So see how much ground Alves is able to make. Hanley has now fallen to 17th. Good qualifying run, but nothing showing for the race trim. As you can see, Curtis, Sands, Zorland, and Parker bumper to bumper as they try to pass Young and Zach Flickinger, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. Oh, everyone but Parker was able to clear the 78. Arndt sits alone in 5th. Gray and Deaver continue to close on Mills and Fitzwater. So we're at lap 40. We'll see when this first round of pit stops commence. We could be in for a one-stop race. Reminder, they're not using The Speedway chassis, this track just really kills your tires. Just about like Rockingham, it really kills your tires. And here comes Cole Deaver. He could even make a pass to the outside if he wanted to. And it looks like that's the way he's going to do it. Right now, it looks like it's going to come down to Deaver and Gray. They've been pretty equal. And around the outside goes Cole Deaver. Gray's going to get a huge run here. Does he make it 3 wide? No, he won't. Deaver just about clears. He cleared him now. So put Cole Deaver up to 2nd place. Gray continuing the ride on the bumper of Mills. He's got to find the way to get by the 18 here. He can't just sit there right on his bumper. That's really costing him time right now. Arndt sits alone in 5th. Curtis 6th. Sorlin's making a move on Sands for 7th. He completes. Parker sits in 9th. And then there's a huge pack of cars. Flickinger sitting in 10th. Austin Alves has made it up to 15th. So it looks like Alves, Kukulon, and Shearer might be on the move. Parker's going to try and take 8th away from Sands. Sorlin really is running some fast times right now. As here we go, battle for the lead between Cole Deaver and Fitzwater. Deaver lost to tire strategy at Indy. This time he conserves his tires on this run. Lap 45, Fitzwater will pit. So him and Jose Mills pit first. 4 seconds of fall off, just like Pig Stadium. Kev Shearer will come down. TJ Hanley. That's probably going to be our top 4 as our first round of pit stops commence. That gave Deaver the lead. Alex Gray is going to stay out, so we are looking at 3 groups for the current time. Good amount of drivers electing to stay on track. Oh, and there might have been a wreck. Zach Flickinger and a lot of others came to pit. No caution yet. Just a lot of chaos getting on the pit road here. This Gray's going to stay out. So that's 4 groups. Arndt's the first for the 3rd group. It looks like some people might be trying to one-stop this thing. Certain drivers are pitting way earlier than others. There you see McIntyre pitting. And Gray's going to go another lap. Sorlin will pit first out of group 4. Parker coming down as well. Sands stays out. See, all this tire wear really lets you decide how much fuel you can save. William Flickinger gets put in the wall by Austin Alves. No yellow. And this is where that stuff like that makes a possibility of a Pig Stadium type yellow come out. Alex Gray will pit. A couple of others stayed out with him. Peter Sands, Riggleman. Those were the 3 that stayed out. One last lap. They will borderline maybe be able to go a full fuel run off this one pit stop. So it's going to get crazy. We're going to stay here and bring you all the action. No one retired. So let's go to the first car to pit, which was Fitzwater Sr. And him and Jose Mills are battling for first place. Only takes 22 seconds to get around this track. Don't be surprised if we get a yellow maybe. Fitzwater really checked up. He just gave it to Mills there because he thought Alves was going to make him 3 wide in a nasty place. So rookie Jose Mills in the race lead at lap 51. Heck, Mark Riggleman stayed out so long, He's going to get put a lap down. Man, this track's turning chaotic with all these weird 3 wides. Everyone's back on the track now. We should be good. We survived. Now we'll really get to see a good amount of how tire wear works. But, I mean, Mark Riggleman was 3rd from that last group. And he is 1 lap down. This track is screaming Pig Stadium. Cole Deaver's in 40th. Something happened to him. That's a tough break for Cole Deaver. He looked like he was the car to beat. Does the 3 car have damage from something? And he looks fine to me, but possibility he got held up on pit road as William Flickinger is damaged. Kev Shearer sits in 3rd place. How about this? This is interesting. Oh, that's right. Shearer did pit first time by with Mills and Fitzwater. So he sits in 3rd. Hanley 4th. Ferranti 5th. Gardner 6th. Flickinger 7th. Sick and Jefferson battle for 8th. And first car battling for 10th is Arndt and Seth Cole. So Seth Cole was running near the back earlier. He pit first time by, and look at how much time he gains from this. I'm trying to see who stayed out the longest again. Was it Zorlin? Well, Zorlin did stay out a long time. He's 17th. Or Alex Gray was. Gray stayed out the longest. And you can see how much time he lost. He lost 16 seconds. That's for every lap he stayed out. We'll see if he's able to make it from that 1 pit stop and everyone else has to go longer. He should be able to catch up. All depends how fast you get around your traffic you're battling. Mark Riggleman to the inside of Jose Mills will look to get back on the lead lap. Austin Alves, Ace Rogers most likely going to look to do the same. Now that everyone's had time to run fast laps, Seth Cole has the fastest time. How about that? See, Austin Alves doesn't really know where to go here. All these different tire strategies. 5 different tire strategies. Making things very interesting. So Riggleman, Ace Rogers, and Alves will all pass Jose Mills. Mendes, Deaver, Jackson. Oh, they're all right here. They're flying by Fitzwater right now. And there's Kev Shearer by himself. He's not really gaining any time, even though Mills and Fitzwater are getting put to the top side. Now, if they're somehow able to stretch it, it'll be interesting to see, because I don't know how... It seems like it's going to be really difficult to gain back 16 seconds for someone like Alex Gray. But at the same time, there's so many cars on fresher tires. So, anyways, let's go on board a lap here at Boston with Alex Gray. Even if he ends up not being our winner, you'll get to see a lap around the track. Look how fast they're going, 182 miles an hour. You can see speeds of about 147 through turns 1 and 2 right now. That gets down to about 138. Fighting hard for position with Rob Evans. That's for a 24th position. And you can see Gray's fresher tires allow him to take that without too much of a problem. As you can see, the farther you go to the front, the more slower these lap times get. Seth Cole already fallen to 12th. You can see TJ Hanley's already fallen back to 7th. As Mills now is put to the top side by Mendes, Jackson, and then eventually Cole Deaver. We'll see if this allows Fitzwater to close back up on the gap. Also, let's talk about potential winner here in Jose Mills if he were to win this race. Mills sits 18th in points. He's been a pretty consistent driver. 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s. So if he were to somehow get away with a win here, that'd be pretty good. That would all but put him in the playoffs. It would take it would take probably 2 last place finishes at Meadowlands and Dega for him to not make the playoffs if he won here today. And heck, I'll probably have to start writing down scenarios. I'll probably start writing my scenarios down. I'll write my scenario. Oh, why do I keep making weird sentences here? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna write down scenarios after Meadowlands for trucks and cup. You can see who's looking where on points. I'll have it all on paper instead of having to just calculate it all looking at the point standings. So Mills falls to Deaver finally, but he gained back a 10th from Fitzwater in second. Even Shearer's not really going anywhere. Ferranti, Gardner, Flickinger lead the first group of up-to-speed cars. You can see they are really chopping down on that race lead by Mills right now. You got to think they went so long on this run. There's so much time to gain back. They went 45 to 50 laps each. So you still have 30, 33, 34 laps to gain back time lost. Patrick Sick in 8th. Seth Cole actually kind of hanging around. He's going to start falling though. All these drivers will just kind of bunch back up. Sorlin leads the first line of really fast cars. Him, Parker, and Shelley. So we'll see how much time they're able to gain back. Meanwhile, let's take a check on Alex Gray. Look at this. Going for 21st on Dylan Young. Remember, he's got the freshest tires on the racetrack. And he's already gained back 4 seconds. And he'll continue to gain back that time. So he's up to 21st. Just look how much faster he is through the corners. He just dives. Look at all that. Look at all that distance he closes up on McIntyre and Shelton, who are side by side. Oh, is he going to go in the middle? He's trying to figure out where to go. This is the kind of things where, though, in order to gain all the time you lost, you cannot get held up by slower traffic. So Gray's going to figure that out. I mean, Sorlin, Parker, and Shelley are figuring out what to do with Curtis and Qualls right now. I'll tell you what, Seth Cole hanging on for now in 11th. As Kev Shearer has been caught by Flickinger, Gardner, and Ferranti. These are the first 3 with a chance to pass Jose Mills. And how about Alex Ferranti? What would it mean for him to get his first career victory? He's 34th in points. That would be our 3rd sub-top 30 win. By a sub-top 30 win, I mean you win your race when you're not in the top 30 in points. Or would it be our 4th one? Because Nate Rogers wasn't in the top 30 when he won. I think it's the 4th one. I could be wrong. So those 3 pass by Shearer. That'll send him back to 6th. And he's been actually losing time from Jose Mills. As Flickinger's looking for 4th from Gardner. There's Fitzwater and there's Mills. Mills is just by himself, as we can see. Mark Riggleman, the farthest back of the 3 who stayed out, is 33rd now. I mean, he was already in the back, so this was pretty good strategy by him, staying out as long as he could. Trying to think of who the other driver was that stayed out. Oh, it was Peter Sands. Sands was near the top 10, so he's back up to 25th. There's Alex Gray in 20th now. You know, Gray was fighting back. I mean, they stretched it out so long. Even if these other drivers stretched it 50 laps, they'd still be 2 to 5 laps short on fuel. As Parker and Shelley made it by Zorlin, so I guess Zorlin had problems getting by the others. As you can see, lap times really, really coming in now. TJ Hanley's really got worn tires. So Hanley's one of the first few. You can see even Shearer is falling back. So now this is where lap time differences really start to increase The older the tires get, the more they start falling off. We hit 25 to go last time by, so we're halfway through. Has Gray gained back half his time? Not really. He's kind of 3 seconds short. I mean, then again, when you're gaining almost a second a lap, I mean, is it really that bad? You just can't get held up by traffic. Fitzwater's down 2 seconds from Jose Mills, so I'm kind of confused, you know. All right, wait, did Mills? Oh, that's right. Mills pit a lap after Fitzwater. I kind of forgot about that part. I think he did, or did he come down the same lap? I forget. Anyways, Mills still leading. Fitzwater's still second. Ferranti, Gardner, Flickinger, as Patrick Sick and co. will start coming towards the front now. I mean, even James Shelley's group, this is where they're really starting to come into play. Shelley, Parker, there's Zorlin in 15th. And then Alex Gray's up to 18th now. Where's Peter Sands? Sands is looking for 22nd. I mean, this is where you're really coming in, and you cannot get held up by stuff like this. You can't just ride behind someone like Alex Gray is doing right now. He has to make a move on people like this. If you wait too long, you hurt yourself. You could be gaining double the time a lap if you just made a move to the inside and dove it into the corner. As you can see, Gray's just so close, he can't get any momentum going. See Seth Cole kind of holding these drivers up. James Shelley's making moves to the top side. Hanley and Shearer are so slow, he's going to the top. When Shearer slides up like this, it makes it difficult. Oh, and I think people are going to pit again. Oh, Kev Shearer and TJ Hanley are pitting again. Mills, Fitzwater, and Ferranti came down again on lap 81. That's interesting. They stretched the crap out of it the first run. If they all come back down again, like here's the thing. If you stretch it, a lot of people are pitting again. Johnny Gardner's coming down. These are the kind of strategies I don't understand. Why stretch it out as long as you could just to pit? See a lot of disaster going on around Mark Riggleman right now. I mean, if you know you can stretch it 45 laps, unless you know, like, you're sitting here right now and you're going, oh, there's no way I'm going to stretch it out all the way. All these drivers are coming. Even James Shelley's pitting. Sorlin's going to stay out. Gray's going to stay out. Peter Sands stretched it out last time and he pit. Like, these are the strategies I don't get. Is if you're going to pit really late the first run, just to short pit the second run, like, why would you do that? And Gray's coming down. I don't get this. He's only gone. You sacrifice time doing stuff like this. Gray could have gone a whole 15 more laps, but what did he do? He pit with 17 to go. So now it'll be interesting to see what happens. Are people taking rights at all? No, it looks like they're taking 4 tires. And Riggleman's going to surrender the lead. So I was not expecting this. It actually looked like it was going to be maybe something interesting, but instead, everyone came back down pit road super early. It gives the lead back to Jose Mills. Oh, and he's going to get roadblocked by the 77 here. And see when Riggleman pits like that? Look at that. He's just coming out in front of race leader Jose Mills. Gave up all that time just to pit. All the time you gain when you short pit back like this is just worthless. Gray lost another 8 seconds, and he's nowhere near the time. I mean, Gray could have won this race, in my opinion, if he had just stayed out, and everyone had stayed out till about lap 95. But instead, everyone pit together from lap 80 up. Like, for whatever reason, they stretched it the first run, and then they all decided not to stretch it the second run. We'll see what happens. It looks like there might be someone close to Mills who's got fresher rubber. But it all depends what happens here. There are a decent more amount of cars now to the that were put a lap down, and that's going to hurt Mills. Alex Ferranti sits in second place. There's Fitzwater in third. Gardner fourth. Shearer fifth. I mean, it depends how many cars are able to get by Mills, and if Ferranti is able to chop down this time, big time here. We're going to hit 10 laps to go. Can Jose Mills pull off? Could he be the third rookie winner on the year? He's having problems on the top side, as it looks like Ferranti got put to the top by Brock. Cole Deaver's going to come up here. And this is interesting to note that even when Mills is on someone's outside, he still gains a 10th. Ferranti is not closing. I wonder if Ferranti took 2 tires or something. Mills still fighting hard. Johnson, Mendez, Jackson look like they're all going to pass. Jackson did not have the race he wanted. As Mills is gaining time, but he's losing. He's running the top. Oh, that's because Ferranti and Fitzwater are side by side for second. Seven laps to go for Jose Mills. Man, he might have played this race the right way. I would have thought if like, you know, I'm just surprised, you know, that these teams didn't stretch it again, because it looked like they were all going to be able to maybe stretch it to the end. I mean, not the people who pit really early. But everyone else, it looked like they were really going to be able to stretch it. Five laps to go for Jose Mills in a caution-free race. Now you can see Fitzwater and Ferranti closing in a little bit. Looking at the rest of the top 10. Zach Flickinger's up to 5th now. James Qualls is in the top 10. Alex Gray 17th. Definitely not the finish he probably deserves, is what he will receive. If they had just fulfilled the whole 45 lap run again. They pitted, I think, about 10 laps too early all around. You know, they should have been pitting at about lap 90 instead of lap 80. But these teams make their strategies how they want. 3 laps to go for Jose Mills. And Toyota will look for its first win of the year. And, trying to think back to who drove this. Oh, season 1, 2017, Tony Green was in this car. Last year was truck champ Philip Goldberg. This year it's a rookie, Jose Mills. He's going to get this 18 team its first W, it looks like. Maybe, maybe not. Cole Deaver's going to put him to the top side. And actually, I think he's got it, because Fitzwater and Ferranti are side by side again. Coming to the white flag, Jose Mills. 1 lap to go at Boston. It was an interesting strategy race for sure. But off of turn 4, it's going to be Jose Mills who gets his first career win at Boston in the Cup Series. Fitzwater second, Ferranti third, Johnny Gardner fourth, Zach Flickinger fifth, TJ Hanley, Patrick Sick, Jay Jefferson, James Qualls, and Kev Shearer. That is your top 10. Alex Gray only got back up to 18th. William Flickinger, bad day for him, got in an incident. Cole Deaver was running up front, something bad for him, fell to 41st. Jackson was looking to get in on points. Him and Marty Johnson both with very terrible finishes. Now, surprisingly enough, the fact that the run did end up shortening itself helped a driver like Seth Cole, who was running in 35th or worse all day, and he ended up getting 12th. So that's going to do it for me here at Boston. I'll see you guys next weekend for a doubleheader weekend, Meadowlands, Trucks, and Cup. 2 races remain for each series until the playoffs begin, so I'll see you guys at the Meadowlands.